So, a few years back, I decided to break my lease and leave town to live in the wilderness. I had been dirtbagging out of my truck for about 3 months and was floating up and down the Blue Ridge Parkway in western North Carolina. I would park at a trailhead and hike in a mile or so, camp a few nights, and move on. One night, I got startled by a man, must have been around 40. He took me by surprise, but was apologetic, and so I offered a beer and my fire since it was already dark and kind of cold. I was wary of him, but I'm a big man, 25 years young and 6'2" at 225 pounds. I ain't scared of much. I knew I could hold my own if I needed to. We chatted until late about hunting and trapping. By morning, he was gone. The next night, I settled into a new site, and as I was making dinner, this man shows up again. I thought it odd, but not threatening, and he spent another night hanging out, and, again, was gone by morning. When he showed up at the third site, I started to feel uneasy. That night, he tried to kiss me by the fire. I jumped up, and he advanced again. I decked him and pinned him down. I told him if he tried anything again, I'd cut his balls off and feed them to him. He left. I got up early and hiked to the truck, only to find him there, waiting. He was asleep in his vehicle. I snuck away. The next day, I parked at a trailhead and watched from the trees as he pulled in behind my truck and started hiking toward where he assumed I was camped. Once he was out of sight, I slashed all 4 tires and noped out hard. Too long didn't read? Got stalked by a man on the Blue Ridge Parkway, slashed his tires, got away. This happened nearly a year ago today, when I was around 14 or 15 years old. Since I've been lurking around this subreddit for a while, I figured it a good idea to post my own encounter. Around September 2014, some local couple's dogs had gone missing. They were an elderly couple, and it was pretty sad because in the area of the South that I live, your dog is your family. Every day I would go out and walk down the roads near the couple's house and would search for them. At the time, a red car with an old man would also drive along the same roads, and I assumed that it was the husband out looking for the dogs as well. He'd pass by me maybe 15-20 times during my walk and then leave. November came, and by now, everyone has figured that the dogs were dead. Probably got hit by a car sometime and no one came forward. One day, I was sitting out by the curb messing with some plants, and I had noticed out of the corner of my eye that the red car was circling the street. He had been passing by for roughly 45 minutes, making U-turns to drive by me. And being the type of person I am, I pretended that I didn't notice so that he'd leave me alone. It was getting on my nerves, until suddenly he came flying down the wrong side of the street, nearly hitting another car. He asked me if I needed a ride, to which I politely declined. "You look lost. You sure you don't need a ride?" It was uncomfortable. He kept pressing me to get into the car. "No, actually, I live right here, but thank you for the offer." He smiled at me before driving away. I went inside and told my mother about it. How odd it was for that guy to just ask if I needed any help when he knew where I lived. My mother asked what I meant by this. I told her, that couple, the husband has a red car, doesn't he? My mother's face went from confusion to concern. No, their car is white. My mom asked me about all the times I'd seen this car, and shockingly, when I put the pieces together from all the walks I'd taken, I realized that every single walk, starting from July, I had seen that red car pass me. Every single time. He had been watching me for months. And when I thought back, I remember him asking me if I needed a ride in August. We ended up calling the police on the man. As soon as I described to the officers what he and his car looked like, they immediately knew who it was. For nearly 30 years, this dude had been preying on young girls, asking them for rides, and trying to bribe them with drugs in exchange for sex. It was disgusting. The county ended up dropping on the stalking charges, claiming that he wasn't aware of his actions all those times. But I know that's not true. I'm always wary of red cars when I take walks now. I slept in my brother's room for nearly a month afterwards, because I was scared that he'd tried to get revenge. Hey guys, let me start this off by saying writing is not my strong point. Anyways, it was approaching one of my niece's birthdays, and she's at that age where I think she would appreciate a gift from her uncle. I'm a poor college student with no car, so I walk everywhere and anywhere. Knowing that, I always take my backpack and headphones anytime I leave my house. So I'm at Walmart and have this care package planned out for my niece. She loves Elsa from Frozen, so I decided to get her a costume, doll, and candy, all Frozen themed of course. Like I mentioned earlier, any place I travel, I usually have my headphones in. This is kind of a pain to explain, but this detail defines the whole story. Now, I'm so lazy, I use a third-party music app instead of the music app included on my iPhone. Unfortunately for me, this requires a good internet connection, and living in rural parts of Denver, my music ends up cutting in and out and then stops playing altogether. Now at this point I have one item left on my list, and I'm in the toy section of Walmart looking for an Elsa toy that my niece could take care of. As soon as I know it, this mom leaves her 2 children beside me. I'm not sure why, but this has happened before. Maybe I have a trustworthy face. Let me tell you all something now. I'm not fucking stupid. There are so many strange things that happen in this world that I would be a fool to leave these 2 young children alone. And for the record, I don't know these people at all. Kind of a pain, but I figure it's just me being a good person. I don't even know how some people can do this. This is literally a woman leaving her 2 children at a section of the store and telling them to wait there for a short while. Anyways, one girl was around 4 years old, and her sister was around 1 or 2 years old. These girls were fucking sitting ducks, man. The older sister had 1 missing crock, and her younger sister had pajamas on and a pacifier in her mouth. I felt even more obligated to stay until their mom came back. And I was right. Not even 5 minutes passed since their mom left, and some fool came up and started talking to these girls. This tool said all the same generic stuff any pedophile would say. I have lots of toys and candy in my car, and a dog too. I was like, is this guy fucking serious? He probably thought I wasn't listening because I had my headphones in. But like I said, my music cut out a long time ago. As soon as he mentioned his dog, I immediately made my way up to him. He was crouched down, talking to the girl about the stuffed animal she had in her hand. My dog is really big. He's not pink, but he's nice. Would you like to come and meet him? I crouched down and pushed the girl back a few steps. Immediately, the guy moved back a few steps himself. I extended my arm and shook my finger back and forth, gesturing him, no, not today. I gave the guy a very harsh look, like I knew exactly what he was doing. I just stared at him very attentively. The guy was very short in stature and had a short, stringy hair with a tan pilot jacket. He was also wearing some very beat-up New Balance tennis shoes. He looked very plain. At this point, I was about to pounce on him and hold him down. I'm not even a big guy myself. I just don't stand for any bullshit. Before that could happen, he immediately got up, turned right, and headed out the garden exit. I waited with the little girl and her sister until their mom came back. I said, yeah, you shouldn't leave your children alone. Some guy was talking to one shoe about some generic kidnap bullshit. Those are my exact words to her. I mean, there's no denying what just happened. Anyways, I told her she won't be as lucky next time. The mom just shook her head up and down and swallowed any spit that was in her mouth with a very harsh gulp. I don't know if something bad would have happened if my music had not stopped playing. Let's just say, neither one of those girls could barely speak. So, creepy guy at Walmart, if we meet again, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Come try me again, boy. Hey everybody, I'm Bella Deadwood. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, I hope you come back tomorrow to watch the first part of the Halloween special. If you didn't watch the last video, the Halloween special is going to be 6 parts, starting tomorrow, ending on Halloween. The recordings are about 15 to almost 30 minutes long on some of them. So I've been working pretty hard on them, and I hope you enjoy them. I have noticed the breathiness there tends to be in some of these recordings. That comes with working with a microphone that has no spit guard. So I'm working on it. Do a little bit of an upgrade. I plan to have that done before the end of the year. You'll notice that there shouldn't be an ad in front of any of my videos, so I don't monetize on these. I'm not making any money off of them. So it's just a matter of me saving up or finding a lot of cotton swabs to glue to the microphone maybe. Before I send you off today, I just want to say thank you for the continued support with these stories. This is a really small channel. It's all for fun. And, well, I never really expected it to grow at all. I expected to be shouting at the internet with no one to listen. So I really do appreciate every one of you guys that comes and listens to these videos. I get a couple comments every now and then, and I just want to let you know I really appreciate it. And that is the reason that there's going to be the Halloween special. It's to show my appreciation for you guys. So it's getting pretty late. I have to go to sleep myself. So I'll leave you with your nightmares as well. Good night, guys.